Hi there, welcome to The Peaceful Home. In this video, I'm going to explain 4 steps to completely reorganizing your children's toys and get you set up with a system that will help your children be able to put away their own toys, be able to maintain this system so that you have a peaceful and organized home. If you're new here, welcome. I'm TeresaElling. I'm a professional organizer, and although I have worked with many clients, especially doing playrooms and kids' bedrooms, I believe my most helpful experience comes from raising my own 6 children. This is a system that I put in place for my children, and it worked incredibly well. And what I did was begin to teach other parents how to do the same. I wish I had filmed the entire process with this client. The mom was just amazing. She has this playroom for her kids. She's really proactive in making sure that they have really creative educational toys, but she felt like there was too much to manage, and every time the kids went in to play, the room just became a mess. The kids couldn't clean it by themselves, and it was just more stress for her to try to go in and clean up after them. The first video in this series, which is probably going to be about 4 or 5 videos, was on toddler toys, and I will link that below. I would say the main issue with toddlers is that they dump their toys out, move on to the next thing to dump, and they never actually play with anything. Whereas with older children, they actually play with the toys, but they usually get out numerous things, play with them, move on to something else without putting the previous toys away. This creates chaos because there are multiple things out, toys getting mixed up, clutter all over the floor. Usually this ends in a parent telling the kids to go clean up your room or go clean up your toys, and they have no idea what to do or where to start. This system will completely eliminate that. It will show you step by step how to bring your children along to learn to clean up their own things without them being so overwhelmed. This will really enable you to maintain a peaceful home without toy clutter everywhere. Number 1, gather every single toy, game, and kid gadget that is in your home all in one spot. It's important to get everything in the same spot so that you can actually see what you have. Make sure that you have all the parts to a particular game, all the pieces to a certain toy, so that you can determine what stays and what goes. You'll need a trash can, a donate box, and an area to put all the toys that are to keep. I would also encourage you to have a small box for each individual child for things that they only play with or special items that belong specifically to them. I would suggest going through all of your toys a minimum of once a year. A great time to do this is right before Christmas. It's a perfect time for your kids to be gearing up towards getting some new toys and being able to let go of some things that they've outgrown. It also brings them into the process and teaches them how to release things and not hold so tightly to things that they're not actually using. With all the things that you're keeping, I want you to divide them according to family things or personal. If it belongs individually to a child, then put it in their bin. If it belongs to the family, it should all go in one spot, and then you'll further separate into sets and singles. I explained this in the toddler video. You might have a large item that functions by itself, like a large dump truck or a dollhouse. Now, a dollhouse has other parts, but if you leave all those little parts in the dollhouse, chances are they're going to get scattered around your home. So in this case, you want to treat something like that as a single and a set. So the dollhouse can be your single that stays out in your child's room, a living room or a playroom. And then all the people, furniture, and accessories go into a bin, and that becomes a set. My client was just about to begin implementing quiet time with her kids. And so when she realized that there are certain special toys that only her son or only her daughter play with, she decided to put those in separate bins as a toy that can be brought out just during quiet time. I also have a quiet time video, and I will link that below as well. So after you have gathered everything, sorted everything, step 3 is to find a central location for all of the toys. I personally do not like to see toys in a child's bedroom. There is an exception to that, and that will be in the video where we talk about the 2 very important bins that every child needs to have. There's any way that you can set up a hall closet, a mud room, a laundry room, anything like that, and have them play with toys in your living room, that would be awesome. If you have a separate playroom, that will work too. If you have limited space and your child's bedroom is the only option you have, then what I would encourage you to do is try to at least have your toys in another location, for example, a hall closet, and then they can take a toy and play with it in their bedroom. If you do have to have toys in the bedrooms, make sure that they're high enough up so that your child can't get them without permission. Most of the houses we lived in while our children were growing up, we converted the hall closet or coat closet into toy storage. What I did was install very simple shelves that all of the bins of toys could be kept on and organized, ready for checkout. Now, number 4 is to establish a checkout system. What this does is it enables your child to check out a toy, play with it, and then they check it in before they get out something else. I remember in grade school that there would be a ball monitor and we could go over and check out a ball or a jump rope or whatever we wanted to play with. We had to give our name and our room number, and then we would have to return the item at the end of recess. This is the same concept. There are so many benefits to this system. I don't even think I could tell you everything, but I will say that it enables your children to be able to sort and divide, which is a great skill, especially for the younger ones. It teaches them to slow down and be a little more intentional about their play. They can't just go play with random toys that are laying around. They've got to think about it, make a choice of what they want to play with, and check it out. It also really helps parents be able to monitor what toys are out and being played with and whether they've been put away or not. We actually had a small wide erase board that was tacked to the inside of our closet door so that the children that could write would actually write down their toy and their name. And the ones that couldn't, mom or dad or an older sibling could help them check out their toy. As part of this system, I recommend that you have a time of day when you encourage everyone to look at what they've checked out and make sure things get put away. A great time to do this would be right before dinner. Check the list, make sure any of your kids that checked something out have now picked it up and put it away. Now, there are exceptions to this. If your child has checked out Duplos and they've made this amazing creation, the only rule I would have is that all the pieces have to be gathered either with what they're building or in the bin, and it all needs to be tidy. And if that was the case, they could leave it overnight and they could play with it again the next day. The only thing I didn't want to see was toys scattered all over. Now, this is a great compromise because, of course, our children want to build things that sometimes they want to play with for several days. But when you notice that they're no longer playing with that and they've moved on to other things, you will need to remind them that they need to clean it up and check it back in. Now, we chose to have all of our toys in the toy closet, but you absolutely could do a toy rotation. If you want maybe a third of your toys to be available for checkout and the others put away maybe in bins in the garage, and once a month you swap them out, that gives your kids new choices. That just felt a little too cumbersome for me. I was happy to rotate toys for toddlers, but by the time the children were a little older, the checkout system worked fine with all of the toys being available. So these were the steps that I took with this client, and I want to show you some more of the before and after of the playroom. Here's another look at the before, and you can just see the clutter that's everywhere, very difficult for children to clean up. And here's the after. Even the kitty cat is happy because there is so much space to play. Now, there's also a bookcase that we needed to go through. And this type of open shelving I really don't recommend because most kids can't manage it well. You can see that my client used various organizing tools and bins to try to get things under control, but what's really needed is a full system. And once you put it into place, it makes a huge difference. After we sorted everything, these were the larger containers that went into the closet. Each one was labeled, and then all of the smaller toys have their own bin and a label ready for checkout. They only had a couple of games, which went up on the top shelf, and what a difference this made in this playroom. We left a basket for books to be placed in when they're done reading them. That way mom or dad could help put them on the shelf, and it made it much easier. These are a lot of these single toys that are available whenever they check out all those little pieces. One of the things we decided to keep out permanently were the Duplos. That's one thing that the kids can go in and play with, and they don't have to check it out. They just have to tidy up at the end of their play. This is a tried and true system. I really encourage you to implement this system for your family. You can include your children in this process, or you can do it on your own and then kind of do this grand reveal, which a lot of times is really exciting for kids. In this case, I worked with my client while her kids were at the grandparents' house. And when they came home, they got the big surprise of getting to see their brand new playroom. They also were introduced to the brand new rules about their toys. And they've been keeping up with the system. My client did an amazing job decluttering and implementing this system with her children. You can do it too. Coming up soon will be how to help children clean their own room and the 2 bins that every child needs, as well as my guaranteed trick to make sure that kids pick up their own things around the house. Thanks so much for joining me on The Peaceful Home.